Need to talk to me? Are you in the mood to make fun of God, or are you getting a little scared?
Theft Auto and shit. Everybody start packing! Here's the day we were all looking forward to. We're gonna do some real damage control now. Today, fight hard! Fight fast! Fight fast!
I have seen so many unhappy creatures who right up to the last have defied and denied the truth like giants.
Do you hear that? Ringing? That is the sound of freedom! Real freedom, you dumb fucks! You get up! Get the fuck up! What? I'm joking.
If someone needs my help, I must help. It is not for me to ask if he deserves it.
Do you think you are going to fight your way out of here? You think you're gonna be some kind of heroes? Are you insane? If you think you are doing this for me, you are insane. I will only despise you for your stupidity. Your name? Kozinski. You always been a silly shit? A silly shit with no more thought than some romantic notion of playing cops and robbers. This ain't a movie, Kozinski, and you need to run along home before somebody gets hurt.
Well, what happened?
Oh, it was very strange. I don't understand. I thought I knew him. I thought we knew who he is.
Oh, what'd he say?
He told me about a dream he had. I was almost naked.
Oh?
And bending over in front of him.
My God.
And he became attached.
No! How did he say such a thing?
I had to stop him. He told me I was beautiful in my nightgown.
Ooh. Was he drooling?
In his dream? He didn't say.
I need to write to Angela to apologize for telling her about my dream. To ask her to marry me.
So instead of asking her to be alone with you even once, you're gonna ask her to marry you. You wanna bet on the answer?
I don't know, I guess 50-50 shot.
Even money? How much?
You always make everything into a wager. You have a problem. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Am I thinking? I guess how difficult this is. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. So I guess you're saying that there's no hope.
I'd agree with that.
In a lifetime of random events, why can't it be my number that comes up live sometimes? Now, of course, I don't deserve it. Who deserves an accident? Still, though, if it's just luck, it shouldn't matter anyway, right? I could still hit it big, couldn't I? See, the great thing about a card game is its occasional ability to mimic life. How many thoughtful hours have you spent reliving past events, in communion with almost forgotten people? How much time have you spent considering chances you could have taken? And a card game, you have the chance to change your life. And you're always at risk of choosing wrong. That childhood haunting question rings in a game of cards. Do I dare? And you have to decide to risk who you are for a chance at what you want. How can anybody resist that experience? I know well why I've thrown my life in the muck for a game of cards. It's because I'm addicted to the fantasy of choosing not to. And like every true gambler, I'm not leaving the table till I'm broke.
So excited, me, Bob. All right, Maura, do you have a real answer or you just want to pass to Dan over here?
What?
What is it, Dan?
Okay, I was just wondering, I was just wondering, you know, like, when we were going to get started with the game, you know?
Started. We already started, Dan. Did you want to go back and start again?
I don't understand.
It's a joke, Dan. All right, look, we're just trying to warm up here, okay? Get things moving. Set the scene a little for the audience at home so they know who's who, right? Set the background for them, because theoretically one day the audience at home might be right here where you are one day on the show playing for the big money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, right. Or maybe they can never be here where you are, in which case we don't need to do that at all. But that's up to you to decide, Dan. What do you think?
I see what he's doing now.
Do you? Fill Dan in on it.
Honey, I think this is one of those times when they don't tell you what the game is and you're supposed to guess or recognize it from before, from another...
guess the game
or
recognize the game or whatever it's called. What about the rules? They have to explain the rules. They always explain the new rules of the week. Isn't Chip going to explain the new rules of the week? Bob!
Okay! The rules! Thought you'd never ask. Okay, can't play the game if you don't know the rules. Okay, we're almost ready to start here now, folks. So, Chip, why don't we tell them the rules for this week?
Well, funny that you mentioned it, Bob, because this week's rules are no rules at all. Anything goes this week.
Whoa, Chip, what are you saying? Anything goes?
That's right, Bob. Absolutely anything. No rules of any kind. Basically, it's every man for himself, and whoever ends up with the most funny money
Whoa! Far out! There's no machinery here. There's no process. Nothing to question at all.
Aren't there any commercials, Bob?
Reality just grows on trees. Right, Dan? Yeah. You're just in it from the beginning, right? Yeah? It's not manufactured. It's real. It's real. Right, Dan?
Don't know what you're talking about.
I know, you don't know what I'm
Bob?
talking about. You goddamn right. What?
Aren't we going to break for a commercial?
No, actually, we're not going to break for a commercial, and do you want to know why?
I guess I do want to know why.
Tell her why, Chip.
Well, that's because from this moment on, the show itself is just one big commercial that never ends.
Woo!
One big commercial from now until eternity.
Yeah. All right. One big commercial from now until eternity. And why is that? Is it by accident, Dan? No, it's because we designed it that way.
I wonder what it is we're selling.
Or I could be lying. I could be lying, right, Chip?
No, I'm sorry, Bob. You could not be lying.
And why is that, Chip?
Well, Bob, because I'm afraid that would imply an a priori concept of truth, from which one could deviate, rather than the word truth being merely a machinic element within technologies of power, which have been set into motion by certain unnamed and unnameable parties, which just coincidentally happens to be the case here, Bob.
Yes, precisely, Chip. And thank you. But, if I am in charge, then I could theoretically break my own rules, couldn't I? I mean, I could be lying in relation to the truth that I previously told, which would also be a lie, so that by deviating from it, I would be telling the truth by lying. What do you think, Dan? Is it possible, right or wrong? I could be telling the truth by lying, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.